The Beach FM Business Lunch Show, brought to you by PlaceMakers Kapiti Horowhenua. Together we're building New Zealand.
Welcome back to the Business Lunch Show on Beach FM 106.3. Well, let's talk to one of our neighbours now at Lindale Village from Island Custom and the Sewing Clinic. It is Penina. Hittie. G'day, Penina.
Hi, Damian.
How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, we're doing good. Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, obviously I know what you do and everything, but what we like to do first and foremost on the show is just get to know the people that we're talking to. So how long have you been running Island Custom? How long have you been running your sewing clinic out of Lindale? How long has it been a passion of yours?
So I started Island Custom almost 6 years ago, and it sort of came out of sewing clothing and baby wear for my children, and basically some friends and family would ask about, where did you get that and where can I get one, and so I just started a little hobby business sewing baby things, and then I trained as a primary and secondary teacher, so I always had this passion for sharing the knowledge. And so I started the sewing clinic with inspiration and sort of collaboration with my friend Vic, who also has her own clothing business.
Awesome.
And so we run classes here from Lindale for kids and adults in Kapiti, and we've really been enjoying that and meeting lots of people and sharing the skill of sewing.
Fantastic. And now it makes sense with the teaching background as well. So, so one of those questions that we always ask is, how did you take a passion? Like, we've had a lot of people on the show that have started out of their garage or taken over the family dining room table, etc. So, how did your passion become, well, your own business, really?
That's a really good question, and I don't think that there's one way that people turn their passion into a business.
Yeah.
For me, it was definitely listening to friends and family around me and just trying to hear what the need was and how I can contribute. I've always been involved in community groups and sort of look at the world as, how do we as individuals also have a moral obligation to find opportunities to share what we know and uplift other people. So I think it's really the advice that I often give people who ask me this is, within your skill set, how do you offer people around you a service that is valuable? And I think that that's, at least for me, something that keeps you going is being able to just reflect at an individual level what you want to do and what you can do, and then just finding how you can offer that more widely. It definitely keeps you going if you're able to find your sphere of usefulness. And that's, probably the advice that I can offer.
Excellent. Wow, brilliant. Hey, what were some of those early learnings to take the passion to? I know you got the advice from your friends and people around you, but what were some of those early learnings that you just didn't know first and foremost about starting your own business?
I think the degree to which you do need a wide range of skills. And I think that acknowledging that really early on in the journey really helped me. I think, personality-wise, I do like to collaborate with people and I like to bring people along the journey. So I think that aspect made it a lot easier. So I was able to just say, you know what, I don't really have all the skills in, let's say, marketing, or, I don't really have any interest in this side of it. And, who do I know who can help me with the accounting side? And I think just really acknowledging where you want to spend your effort and your energy, and then really calling upon either, paid services or mates or just other people, and really bringing them on early on so that you don't get burnt out. Or you also don't spend, 10 hours on something that might take someone half an hour. So I think it's just utilizing the services and people around you rather than trying to do everything yourself.
That's exactly it, Penina. I think you're probably the second or third person that has actually said that on the show, and we've had over 120 guests. But it is,
Wow.
you can't put all your efforts into something where, if it's gonna, like you said, if it's gonna take you 10 hours versus their half an hour,
Yes.
it's good business, mate. Good business. So I know that it's in the name Island Custom, but I'm guessing, where do you draw your inspiration from? Because you're not just a sewer, you are a designer yourself.
Yes. Yeah, I think my passion is in providing sort of an island flair to anything that I do. So just trying to integrate some of my Samoan culture and heritage into products and things that I sell. And then the aspect of the custom side is, one size doesn't actually fit all in terms of what people want, and also what they are, sort of needing. So this idea of having the aspect of customization on whatever the products are is a big part of the business.
Brilliant. Hey, I got to ask those true questions, those real questions now. I mean, COVID is a time where a lot of us we had to stop what we were doing. We couldn't go into work. We couldn't deal with people whether we deal with them on a day-to-day basis or not. We didn't have the luxury. So, how was that time for you? Did you get a moment to regroup, to change it up for yourself, or have that much needed break that you might have needed? But I know you probably had a busy household at home as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is also an issue that society needs to acknowledge, is really the essential work of the mother, and what role women who have families actually essentially had to play during lockdown. And I think a lot of that house and teaching work of the children really fell hard on business women. So for me, the reality is, the kids and the family comes first, especially if you are within a house where, the most of the bills are thankfully paid by your husband in that regard. So I think it was actually quite a simple process. It was just, what do the kids need, and how am I catering to ensuring that the family life is stable during lockdown. Yeah. In the evenings, I was able to reflect business-wise a little bit more about moving ahead some of the educational side of the sewing clinic, and looking at, what already exists, what knowledge do I have that I can utilize during this time. So, over the last 2 years of teaching classes, I've accumulated 80 or so sewing, tutorials. So I guess it just gave me that time to be like, okay, well, what are the next steps for creating more of an online platform to allow more people to access the tutorials and the knowledge that I've already got, and utilizing that avenue in whenever I did have some time. I think also it did, once again, solidify the importance of sustainability, and how the role of sewing, and not the role, but the craft and skill of sewing should be such an essential life to all families, and access to being able to fix your own things and being able to make your own things. And I think it just reinforced the value of teaching this skill. And I think for me, it was like, I'm going to just run with it. This, like, at a societal level, this is such an essential skill. So how are we, when, out of lockdown and that, how do we just really further the importance of this and share it more widely?
Absolutely. I know how to sew. I mean, I know you've fixed my pants once, but I definitely know how to sew, and I do have my own sewing machine. So yes, you've got to know. Where to next for you, mate? Right. I mean, now we're back. We had a new normal. Now we've got a new normal. So how's everything going for you? How's the future looking for you guys?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about collaborating more widely with businesses, and I've already mentioned that earlier, but really especially women in business, in the creative space, and in sewing. So I mentioned Vic previously, and there are a couple of other women who have sewing businesses. And we're just trying to find ways actually to come together and share our resources, and also look for the opportunities for creating more sustainable livelihood for the group of us. So that's really where I'm quite passionate about at the moment. And at a practical level, and in terms of, the impact of COVID, we've been designing, we've been discussing, we've been trying to figure out, sort of the face mask making market. But really it's just about, well, how do we know that there's an increase in need and demand for it. So how do we as a group of women who are in the space come together and, make more masks, but do it in an environment which is uplifting, and we become friends. And so I think for me, that's where I'm heading, sort of where I'd like to go is just how do we have more opportunity for questioning some of the norms around business, and just actually saying, you know what, collaboration and cooperation can be really amazing for businesses. And this is, just exploring what that looks like. So that's where I'm heading, and really excited to be learning about at the moment.
Fantastic. Well, lastly, mate, thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome catching up and getting the story. But lastly, where can we find you? How can people get in touch? Maybe even people that want to collab with you.
Yeah, so we're in the last building at Lindale Village. Just come on in during school hours. Usually you'll find me or one of the other ladies around, and you can just come and have a chat, and we can just see how we can help each other. And we can also just share with you our services, either the sewing side or the teaching side, or the friendship side. So just come on down.
Fantastic. Penina, thank you so much for your time. Go well, my friend. We'll catch up soon.
All right. Thanks, Damian. Bye.